Welcome everybody to yet another episode prediction video for this week's up-and-coming episode of Fear the Walking Dead. This is Season 3, Episode 12, entitled Brother's Keeper. Now, for some reason, on the AMC YouTube channel, they're titling it as the Season 3 finale, which I hope it's not. I don't think it is. I mean, I'm under the impression we were supposed to get 8 episodes, right? But I'm not really sure. So if I find more info on that, I'll definitely let you know. I don't know why it shows it on, the titles of the sneak peeks and the promo for this week's episode. It says Season 3 finale on it, but everybody in the comment section and, everything like that, basically saying it's not. And there's also nothing on Twitter, from Fear the Walking Dead or AMC or anything like that. So I don't think it is the Season 3 finale. It's just something really weird that we haven't really seen before. I'm not really sure why they're titling it the Season 3 finale when it's not. Or maybe it is. Who knows? I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, Season 3, Episode 12, Brother's Keeper. If this was the Season 3 finale, which it literally meant this is like the 4th episode in the second half, which would be pretty crappy. We had 8 episodes in the first half, then 4? Nope. I'm not believing it. Now, the synopsis for this episode is as follows. I'm going to have to make this quick, all right? It's super muggy out right now. I don't know why. Middle of September, almost fall. Tomorrow's fall, or autumn, whatever you guys want to call it. It's super muggy, it's sweaty, it's gross, and if I don't have a fan on and like 17 different windows open in this house, I will literally melt. But anyways, I gotta go do some stuff actually, too, here soon. I gotta go pick up my niece. But nonetheless, the synopsis for this episode is as follows. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give you my life story, but here we go. Brother's Keeper. As Nick and Jake set out to handle a delicate situation, the ranch prepares for a threat greater than any they've faced before. Sorry. I have trouble reading. I've been playing a lot of Destiny, a lot of video games. It's jambled up my head. But anyways, as Nick and Jake set out to handle a delicate situation, the ranch prepares for a greater threat than any they've faced before. So I have not really any clue what this is leaning towards. It looks to me in the promo like there is some things going on. It might be walkers. I'm not really sure, but it looks like there's violence going on inside of the ranch, like they're fighting again. I'm not really sure. They probably didn't strike water, that we could definitely assume that they didn't. Will Madison be back this episode? I would hope so. I would think that it probably wouldn't take that long for them to come back when they were already in the car, unless this is sort of like a flashback episode, or like this took place when Madison was getting that deal for the water. That could very well be, it's just taking place in that timeline. Who really knows, though? Maybe we'll have a little hint to find out. Maybe they'll say something like they left like a day ago or something. You know what I mean? That would lead us to believe that this is all taking place when Madison basically just left. So I'm actually really excited for this episode. It looks to be a lot of stuff in the ranch with Alicia and Jake and Nick. On the promo, it also shows Troy back, but we don't know if that's actually Troy because we've seen Nick before hallucinate him. That was obviously when he was in the box. So I'm not really sure why he'd be hallucinating him now. So I'm assuming it's the real Troy, but it definitely could be a hallucination. He's basically telling Nick that, we have to prepare, some things are going down. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's walkers. I'm not sure if they're just, planning on leaving, or maybe Troy's sort of leading an assault on the compound. Maybe he's trying to get into, Nick's, head and get Nick and the whole militia on his side again, and strike when they're all in need of water. That would actually be smart, but at the same time, Madison, Strand, and Walker just basically struck a life-changing deal with the dam, which would definitely put them on offsides, because Walker would not appreciate his men being slaughtered when he was getting a deal done. Anyways, so yeah, that's definitely interesting what's going to happen there. The promo is very vague. It's like a 40-second promo. There's not really too much going on. There's a lot of guns being drawn, but we don't really know what they're being drawn on. Nick is saying that, I'm living in a house of a man that I killed. Probably leaning towards Otto there, because obviously he did kill Jeremiah. So that's probably what I'm thinking, of there when he's talking about somebody he killed and living in the house, which is obviously the main house now. I'm thinking he probably took Troy's spot when Troy got exiled. It also says, somewhere I read, I don't exactly remember where. I think it was on like one of the video titles or like a little article that AMC posted. I think it was on Twitter actually, where they basically said Troy, you know, is not taking being exiled very well, and I'm thinking he's plotting on coming back. You know, definitely probably got a few plans up his sleeve. And like I said, we did see him talking to Nick there in that promo, so that's definitely interesting. But as for the sneak peek goes, because again, the promo's very vague, don't really know what to come of it, because, I mean, it's just a lot of guns being drawn, you know, a lot of things being said, and we don't really exactly know what they're preparing to fight. You know, it's sort of just leading us to assume that they're about to fight something big. You know, I don't know what it is. Each other, walkers, I'm not sure. Another group, who knows? The sneak peek is as follows. It's basically Alicia and Jake. Jake basically complaining to Alicia that, you know, this ranch isn't really mine anymore. You know, this is definitely not my place. I'm not even really leader here anymore. It's not even feeling like home anymore. And he basically explains to her, you know, there are other places, you know. This was something that's, you know, Walker and, you know, everybody like that was right about. You know, you don't have to stay at the ranch. That's, you know, like he explained, his father didn't have a monopoly. You know, there are other places, closer to there and further away. You know, he lists a couple and basically explains, you know, those are really good places that we could last. You know, there's more ranches out there. We don't have to stay at this one just because it's in my family line. You know, he's basically realizing at this point that it's the end of the world. You know what I mean? All this property stuff doesn't really matter anymore. You know, it's whether or not he lives and stays living. You know, that's essentially what it boils down to. You know, if you find yourself in a situation where your camp is getting taken or overrun by another group, like is kind of happening now, they're taking leadership of it, taking the guns away, you know, and everything like that. That's very dangerous for them. You know, maybe they might not have access to them when they're being attacked by walkers. Or, I mean, they could just, I mean, they have all the guns. Walker's group has all the guns. They could literally just slaughter them and they wouldn't be able to do anything about it. So, you know what I mean? You got to play the hand you're dealt. I know you're going to want to fight back. You know, you're going to want to stand up for yourself, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're safe. You want to make sure that your people are safe and that you can keep on living. Which, I mean, let's be honest, all right? We've seen this happen before. Like the prison, season 4, governor attacked. Rick did hold his ground. Should he have? Questionable, you know? The integrity of that, you know, they were trying to basically come to the same conclusion that they're coming to right now, that you can live with us. You know, they asked the governor to live with us, and unfortunately there was too much confrontation there before. The governor was obviously a bit insane on some level when he got power in his hands, and that ultimately boiled down to a big shootout. And, you know, let's be honest, if Rick did leave, you know, there's still a pretty good chance that Herschel could be alive, but there's also a pretty good chance he could be also dead. You know, he might not have lived up to that world, and then, you know, they could have all been slaughtered. You know, they could have left, you know, and while they were leaving, they got attacked, and obviously they didn't have the fences or the walls of the prison to protect each other, and, you know, stuff like that. So ultimately, I think they made the right decision with the prison by fighting, but then that home basically became unusable to anyone. You know, no one's living at the prison now. All the gates are down. You know, the whole thing's overrun. The walls have been exploded by tank rounds, you know. And while all of that's really cool, you know, for effect purposes and stuff like that, it's definitely not very livable, which is, I feel like it's coming to a point like that at the ranch now. That they actually made the deal here at the ranch about living together, but is that going to work? You know what I mean? Is that going to work? I doubt it. You know, it could work. Who knows? They could come to the conclusion that they can live together. Especially, I think it would bring a lot of solidarity if Madison and Walker and Strand get back with the water first. But something could happen before they do get back. Anyways, that being said, that's it for my episode prediction video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys agree with any things I said, I'm not really sure what's going to happen, to be honest, in this week's episode. I think shit's going to go down. Shit's going to fly. And let me know in the comment section below what you guys think is going to happen. If you guys have any predictions of your own, let's talk about it. And thank you all so much for watching. I got to go do stuff now. And I'll talk to you guys on the next video. And until then, guys, it's been Frost. Take care.